How do you feel?
Holy shit. Across the Panama Canal.
How many times are you going to say that today?
I know.
So this has been probably the most confusing thing in the world, but the two advisors on the boat, they're almost like yelling at each other.
Is that a little scary? Look, you guys, look at my knees.
It had to
That
be
wasn't
me.
scary.
Lago, do you remember when you did a report on the Panama Canal, like when you were 4 years old?
Yeah, back when I was 4 years old, 3 years ago.
Do you remember any of the facts that you had on there?
The place makes around $2 billion a year, just by cargo. Each ship is around $400,000 to $500,000
To come through?
each way.
Moments are fleeting. It's not that we choose to forget them, it's that there are just too many of them. A lifetime of adventuring has left us with more moments than we can count, but there are a handful that stand out for us. Quite frankly, that is why we record everything.
Epic changing montage. And epic getting dressed montage done. Now you're probably wondering, Largo, what are you going to do tomorrow?
We are on the precipice of one of the most monumental moments in our lives so far, crossing the Panama Canal in our own floating home, a feat we thought never possible a decade ago.
We're on our last lock, and you can kind of see over the end of this lock how the water, I think this is the closest we've got, you can see the water's lower down there.
Join us as we complete one of those bucket list items which only existed in our dreams. Thank you so much to our patrons whose support make these episodes possible.
Tomorrow we are crossing the Panama Canal. And you can't cross the Panama Canal without food. So I am in full-on food prep mode. I'm prepping food for breakfast, my famous French toast casserole, to make tomorrow morning very easy for all of us because we're going to be getting up early. Then I made a vegetarian chili because we are pescatarians. We have a vegetarian coming on board, so why not honor that person? And I'm all for that. And then for dinner, we're just going to do, because it's going to be a long day, we're going to just do baguette sandwiches. Nothing super fancy, just kind of whatever. And then I've got something special here, which I baked up and packaged on my own this morning. Cupcakes. I want to have food be super easy so that we can focus on obviously the safety, chatting with the boat that we're tied up to, chatting amongst our crew, and just having a really great time. So I want to have good food and a good time.
5:45 in the morning. And I'm so excited. Today we're crossing the Panama Canal. Can you even see me with that camera?
I don't know, I can't see anything about Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Logan, do you have any facts to spew since you did a report on the Panama Canal when you were like 2?
Built very long ago.
So our port agent gives us 8 of these massive fenders. We already have 2 of our own, but the only reason why they give it to us is because they also give us the lines, which are down there. And these are the lines that we're going to be throwing to the people on the dock side as we're crossing through the canal. And they're nice to have, and plus if we're gonna have these, then we can put away ours, because right after we cross right after we cross the canal, we're not waiting long to go ahead and make our next jump, which is going to be that's another topic.
How you feeling, Largo?
Good.
You ready to take on the Panama Canal?
Yep.
So when staging for the Panama Canal crossing, if you're on the Caribbean side, the best place for you to be is at Shelter Bay Marina. The marina is close to the entrance of the first lock, and if you're looking for instant community, this place is amazing. And the port authorities come right to your boat to measure and perform the pre-clearance. But the best part is that in the morning, when no one is awake, the sunrises are absolutely spectacular. On board was Largo, Will, and I, but we also brought on 3 additional crew to assist with the lines. The Panama Canal authorities require all transiting pleasure vessels to have at least 1 skipper and 4 line handlers for a total of 5 on board. We are overprepared and had 6.
Here's our crew: Samuel, Will, Largo, Graham, and Freya. You guys haven't met them yet. And me. I'm behind the scenes. Have you dreamed of this day, Will?
I had so many dreams in my life that this was never actually part of that dream. But
When you were 18 and thinking of your life forward.
Right.
that's
When I was a
dream.
kid, I thought, you know what? I just want to be happy one day.
I want to be a fireman.
I want to be a pilot. I actually want to be a pilot. Largo, you're living my unfulfilled dreams.
You want to be a pilot? I didn't know that.
I did. And then that never worked out because I didn't work so hard. And then I thought, I want to be a flight attendant. And that didn't work out either because I never applied. and
I always thought, I mean, I didn't have much education on the Panama Canal, but I always thought it was just big boats that went through.
I thought it'd be cool.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I thought it'd be cool. And then the moment we got a boat, I was like, I know we want to go around the world, but everyone says they want to go around the world. And so, you know, the fact of whether we say it, whether they do it is two different things. So this is a big step in that next direction.
It is a big step.
Direction.
Next up, the Suez Canal.
Oh boy.
That is probably only for big boats.
No, you can go on that.
Really?
We can go on that.
Okay, so we said we had a change of plans happening, and well,
We are not selling the boat.
no, instead we are going to postpone our Pacific crossing over to French Polynesia just by a little bit.
Because we are heading north. There's some amazing sailing up the coast of North America, and our goal is to get to Baja California by way of visiting.
Guatemala, Costa Rica, Puerto Vallarta, and cruising all the way up through the Sea of Cortez before we actually haul out. Friendship needs a little bit of TLC.
She needs a little bit of tea.
And we're gonna haul out in Puerto Peñasco, and then we're gonna dust off our backpacks and get rolling again.
India will be our next stop. We have a group trip there that starts in December, so we're putting the finishing touches on it. One spot left if anyone wants it. Then we're going to Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, and we have a bit of a concern with all of this travel. Our concern is safety.
Which brings us to today's sponsor, NordVPN, because, well, internet safety is a real big thing for us, and it should be a real big thing for you too.
As full-time travelers, we're always looking for a couple of things. First, confidence that our internet traffic is secure. The ability to get our favorite content uninterrupted across the globe.
And to do that all with lightning speed, and NordVPN is lightning fast.
Not sailboat fast. Anytime you connect to a public Wi-Fi, say at a Parisian coffee shop around Christmas time during the Christmas markets, you are at risk of prying eyes seeing your content.
Right, and they can be anywhere. It's not just a cafe, it could be an Airbnb, it could be a hotel, anywhere where you don't control the actual physical connection to the internet. There could be someone out there without your best interest in mind. And you know, you're always gonna be checking things like bank accounts, credit cards, any personal data that someone can use to steal your identity is always at risk. When you log into NordVPN, you can select from anywhere around the world to choose as your home, and that will assign you an IP address that is 100% different. So with NordVPN, you can basically close those gates, and all those malcontents, they're gone. They don't have any say-so of what happens to you.
That's a big word, that malcontents.
I know. They're big people.
Google it, guys.
They don't have you. They're not. I don't like them.
In our mind, the question is not whether we need NordVPN or not, it's what's gonna happen if we don't have NordVPN. So you can get an exclusive NordVPN deal here. Just go to NordVPN/WorldTowning.
You can try NordVPN risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And if you sign up for 2 years, you'll get their best deal available, and they'll throw in 4 extra months for you if you use our link.
NordVPN's privacy ethics are top-notch. First, there's no sharing of what you do online.
They have robust encryption protection, and they have 24/7 customer support, so you're always there with someone watching over you.
Personally, I like that the best because you know how I am with technology. I need 24-hour support.
Always.
Join the party and protect everything you've worked for. You go to nordvpn.com/worldtowning.
And remember, if you sign up for 2 years, you'll get 4 extra months as a bonus. So sign up now. We're tuned in now to the pilot control. We're gonna be checking in once we drop anchor. It's about 6:45 in the morning, and our pilot, our advisor, who's gonna join us for the transit, he's gonna be here in an hour. So once we stop, we're gonna have breakfast, get fueled up, and get ready to go. I'm excited.
When you say fuel, you mean food.
Exactly.
Someone's gonna be like, how are you getting diesel out in the middle of the water there? And they're very serious because I just heard him tell someone, slow down, slow down, slow down. They don't ever have to tell us that because we're always going so slow.
We're always going slow. We're not in a hurry.
Within moments after dropping anchor, our transit advisor was delivered to us,
Whoa, good job.
and we spent the few moments before starting our canal transit enjoying the scenery and practicing knot tying, because once we start, there is little room for error.
So we're now on our way with our pilot/advisor on board. We're fendering up to the hilt. We thought that I thought we only really needed to put on like 4 or 5 fenders on each side. And he's saying, dude, the more you got, the more you're gonna be happy after there, because sometimes things get a little bumpy out there. So we're gonna have like about 10 fenders on each side. And the way that we're running this show today is that it's going to be two of us, two boats, and we're going to line up next to each other and we're going to tie up to each other. So we're going to make some friends today. I'm excited about that.
I feel like I'm a little emotional and super grateful because none of this was part of our life plan. These are so much heavier than our lines.
That line's as big as Largo.
I know! This line is a monster! Right?
Largo, that's a new workout tool.
Probably, actually.
We slowly made our way to our buddy boat for the crossing and could not help but marvel at the enormity and quantity of tankers and cargo ships. On average, 36 ships cross the canal on a daily basis, and alongside each big ship are a few of us little guys who join in the locks. For our transit, we were scheduled for the original locks, the one on the north. As we entered into the locks area, we had to pass under the massive Atlantic Bridge, which has an amazing clearance of 75 meters and is said to connect North and South America on the Atlantic side.
Just a loop. Just loop. Loop. No.
So this has been probably the most confusing thing in the world, but the two advisors on the boat, they're almost like yelling at each other. And now, eventually, what we just did was we got ourselves into this point where we're now rafted up. There's no one hurt each other. Everyone's still smiling. So we're gonna wait for the tugboat. Okay, so we're waiting for the tugboat and then we're gonna hang out. So I relieve myself of navigation duties. This is kind of nice.
Oh, this is so exciting. I know you do this all the time, but it's new for us. Do most people get excited to go through this? Yeah. How annoying.
Some people get nervous and start to smother.
Oh, they're smoking.
I told her, hey, relax.
As we became rafted up with more fenders than we could have ever imagined, it was time to move through the locks. When rafted up, only one vessel is to be moving forward while the other is in neutral. Since we were the smaller boat, we were in neutral and only provided steering assistance when needed. And then it's time to send over the big heavy lines to the shore support, which starts with having to catch the guidelines that have a big rock at the end called the monkey fist. Yes, sounds easy, right?
This is so cool. I can't believe it. I have no words, honestly. I'm like a kid in a candy store. You know, you read about this Panama Canal thing, you all this stuff. It's in movies, all this stuff. I hope they're a good shot too. They're getting ready to throw it. So I'm gonna just turn the camera around so you guys can see this. This is wild.
Once you catch the monkey fist, you have only moments to attach the guideline to the big heavy lines we have on board. Everything was going great until this happened.
It's underneath the front of the boat here.
Can you?
It's still stuck under the boat.
Apparently, the slack from the guideline made its way under the hull. We had to act fast so that we could get everything tied up perfectly before our stopping point at the first lock. The last thing you want is a line stuck in the propeller in the Panama Canal, because with crocodiles in the water, you don't want to be jumping in to untangle it.
That was stressful.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. Holy shit. Was that a little scary? Look, you guys look at my knees.
It had to
That
be
wasn't
me.
scary. So basically now we're in the first lock and you can see it closing behind me. Hopefully I have the camera in the right spot. And as we're going through and the water starts to fill up, they have to pull the slack in on the line. So it's a pretty, I wouldn't say labor intensive, but you do have to remain focused and really pay attention, because if you don't pull your line tight, you're going to sway to the other side. It's going to mess up everything, as well as not be convenient for your buddy boat. So
Once the locks are closed behind you, it's time for the water to fill. As that happens, it's our job on board to pick up the slack with the lines to the shore and ensure that we maintain our position in the canal. Within 10 minutes, over 26 million gallons of water is pushed into the lock to lift you up about 8 meters.
and we're almost up to level here. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Crazy. Samuel, how's it going?
Good.
Awesome, right?
Having fun.
So cool.
With the first lock passed through, there was one absolute certainty.
There's no going back to the Atlantic
There's
now.
no going back.
It's good.
Okay. You're not just saying that, are you? Margot? It's the only time in your life you've ever been served. But you are the captain.
I feel like, seriously, like I'm being looked to by everyone on board to keep us safe.
And all you do is just sit here.
I'm
the rest
just
of us are
sitting
doing
here.
the work. I'm holding the cameras. Sam will hold the lines.
I love you.
Sitting here on your can.
You're my favorite person in the whole wide world.
After we got through the first 3 locks, then it was a 26 nautical mile sprint to get to the next set of locks, which would empty into the Pacific. So it was full speed ahead and time to enjoy a bit of chili and each other's company.
So the boat that we tied up to is a family. It looks like family, their kids and their kids' kids and their partners, which is really, really cool. They must really like each other. So our life is full of surprises. What's our new surprise?
Our one-day transit is turning into a 2-day transit. We started off a little bit later than expected just because there was traffic ahead of us, and our expected time at the Miraflores locks is an hour and a half, and we're not going to make it there in time. So they said, since you can't make it by 3:30, you're just going to spend the night, and then tomorrow morning we're taking off. So
Oh, is that why? Because there's not enough time for us to get through? So the other cat is staying there too?
yeah, we're both staying the night.
But we can't swim in the water, right?
You can't do it unless you
But we
can.
might die.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to die.
After we tied up, we all had one mission in mind, and it did not involve popping any corks.
Who took a nap?
Crossing the canal is exhausting, man.
Largo is the only one who didn't take a nap, but he is the youngest, so, right? He's the youngest by...
Yeah, but he'll crash in like half an hour.
Is it alright if I stay today? Is it alright if I stay today? Take my time, far behind.
Wow, it's beautiful out here.
So, we dreamed of crossing, we dreamed of it, but we really wanted to cross in 2 days. And having it only be 1 day, we're a little disappointed, but we're like, okay, whatever. When they told us yesterday it was going to be 2 days, it was such a relief.
I was so tired.
I mean, 4 out of 5 took a nap. Largo the only one who didn't take a nap.
So tired.
We had such a relaxing evening. We got to chat. We got to know our crew. We went to bed early. Like, I feel great this morning. I'm an early riser, and I woke up at 5:30, guys. I did wake up to the sound of like the big coming through already, because they go all night, I guess, here.
Yeah, my biggest fear of this entire thing was that we weren't going to stop and enjoy it. And I got to the point yesterday when we were racing down this lake trying to get to the locks to make our second set of locks, is that I was just like, I'm so tired. I can't stop and soak this in.
I don't think I've seen you that tired in a while, and you still look a little tired today.
Thank you. I love you too.
And we've just been going before we cross this canal. So everything was prepping to cross the canal. And I think once we got here, we were just so freaking exhausted, just so tired.
So last night was like the first night where we actually sat down and did nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, it was
And
wonderful.
we just sat and we chatted and we exchanged stories, and it was just awesome.
It was really, really awesome. I had a great time last night.
We're gonna take this time to get a little boat work done. I realized yesterday, while I was doing my checks, is that the last sail that we did, apparently more than one shackle went bad. I know that Jessica talked about how in the last vlog how we had an issue with our anchor shackle, which thank God that didn't go. You see, this is all now in there, and we have a preventive measure in place to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. But now we have another shackle which seems to have eluded us. I don't know why, it's like staring at us right in the face. The one that holds down the foot of our head sail. So check this out. This right here, this should be going all the way through over here. The reason why is because there was never ever a wire put in there to sort of keep it in place in case something went wrong. So we're gonna take this time while breakfast is being prepared to go ahead and fix that. All right, we're gonna go down like this, and we're gonna just inspect the sail, and we're going to inspect the halyard to make sure there's no chafe up on top, because we got miles to go, and so we're going to make sure that there's nothing up there that's going to cause us any issues. It's not today. And while we bring it up, we're just checking to make sure that there's no tears or rips or anything along the sorts, because in a big gust, a little tear can turn into a big tear.
So as we were raising the sail, we did notice a small tear on the Genoa. So to take care of that, we took action right away.
All right, so what are we doing here?
So as a temporary measure to fix this little tear that we have right over here, but this right here is going to be just making sure that it doesn't get worse on the way back up. And so what we have is just a little bit of Dacron tape that is going to sit on top. This isn't exactly the best way to do it. You'd want to do it on a flat surface, but this will do for today. This is the hard thing about a boat. There's so many things to check on a boat as you go along, and you need to have really just keen cat eyes the entire time. So I call this a win for actually seeing this, because normally you just go about your day oblivious as to what's going on. Hooray for me. It's now a 7-year-old sail, so it may be time to think about a new head sail.
No more money in the boat.
I know.
Talk to me, Largo. What you doing?
Work.
You have a deadline today?
Yes, or tomorrow, but yes.
Yeah, what kind of deadline do you have?
I have a deadline with my speech class because I'm learning how to public speak.
To public speak, and we're like 15 minutes away from heading to our second day on the canal crossing. Would you rather be doing the canal crossing or school?
Both.
Both. Oh my gosh, multitasker. And our advisor for day 2. Hello. Welcome aboard.
Thank you very
How
much.
are you?
Good morning. Fine, and you?
What's your name?
Hector.
Hector. Another Hector. All right, this is going to be a fun trip. We are all named Jessica. I'm Jessica, he's Jessica, he's Jessica. What's going on now? Sounded serious.
He said to slow down.
Oh, I thought he said something about onions. My Spanish is really bad.
No,
It's cebolla, right?
Right, no, he said the boya, which is the buoy. Next time we tie up to an onion, we can have ourselves a nice little salad.
We had about a 5 nautical mile journey from where we spent the night to the next lock, and that is where we would meet up with our buddy boat again for the remainder of the crossing. We had gone up 25 meters over 3 locks on the Atlantic side, and now it was time to go down about 16 meters over 2 locks as we made our way to the Pacific.
A fed captain is a happy captain, right?
Today it is. Now entering the first lock as we head down into the Miraflores Lake, which means that from this point forward, it's all downhill, and before next hour or so, we're going to be in the Pacific Ocean. Dude, friendship is going to taste a sweet taste of Pacific water. We miss Pacific waters. We lived in California. It was awesome. And now, here we go. And my job right now is to just make sure my rudder is kept going straight. And this big lagoon, 52S, which is the same boat that we were with yesterday, they're taking all the propulsion. So my job is to make sure that I don't screw up going straight. And here's the thing, the hard part about this entire process isn't doing this. As you can see, we're motor, we tie up, and we make sure that we follow the directions of everyone that tells us what to do. For me, the hard part, more than anything else, is making sure that we stop and enjoy this thing, because we've been building up this moment for a really long time, and once we get here, it's a little bit of, oh my gosh, I hope we get it right, that you almost overthink it. And for me, I'm really excited to be not overthinking it, just sort of being in the moment, because it's the moments like these which, if I do overthink it, I think I'm not going to remember it as well, which is partially why I record these things, because I can come back and say, you see, that's exactly what happened. I'm kind of happy right now. I'm really happy right now. I'm crossing the Panama Canal by boat. I have a boat. It's so crazy.
Here I stand, lost inside a wonderland. Time is golden.
This is it. Yes, I know that every moment is precious, but when you get to experience a marvel of human excellence like the Panama Canal, you have to stop and pinch yourself. There's one thing to go to Panama and see the locks from the tourist seats, but to be on a boat, especially your boat, and do the crossing, that is life on a totally different level.
The past was stolen.
It is kind of wild. There's a loudspeaker going on. And I just heard him saying something about catamarans. Have you guys listened to what he's saying at all?
Yeah.
So is he talking about us, like the boats?
Yeah,
he'll explain how it works.
Oh my gosh, I feel like we should get paid for this, guys, right?
No kidding.
Right?
They're literally making tourism money off us.
And with that, the final locks on the Pacific side opened up and we were now starting our second ocean. I am grateful for everything we do on a daily basis, but today will go down in a special section of our memory banks. Our only disappointment is that Avalon could not be here with us.
We made it!
As with that, it was time to say goodbye to our partners for the crossing.
Have a great journey, guys! Bye! It feels weird. It feels like an arm's getting cut off.
I know.
And with nothing but a blink, the sun went down and we found our mooring for the night. Now it was time to celebrate. Thank you guys so much for coming. It was really, honestly, a real pleasure and fun. And that's, that's
Thank
part,
you for taking us.
You're welcome. That's part of the journey, is like having good people. Thank you so much for watching this episode and for following our family as we explore the world. If you're not yet subscribed, we would greatly appreciate it if you could hit the button down below. Plus, another shout out to our incredible patrons who, without their support, these episodes would not be possible. Join us on Patreon for monthly live chats and exclusive content.
Really cool. But they only have 2 feet of space on each side of them, so that would be stressful. Here he comes. He's going to toss it to Largo. Oh, holy mackerel. That thing almost went on the other boat. Wow. He's got a good throw on him. We'll yell those, throw business cards to those people.
Hey, subscribe! Subscribe to our channel!
Romance via sailboat. How are we doing back here?
So good.
Do we still like each other?
We do. We do.
In the Pacific. So we separated from them. You too! We might catch you in a year.
And I woke up this morning, I feel refreshed. I haven't looked at myself in the mirror, so I'm sure I have bags and whatever, but I feel very refreshed and excited about the second part of this day.
And we're gonna do the same thing today. After we're done, we're just gonna sit around and do nothing.
Are we? I thought we had to go do the immigration stuff.
That's tomorrow. Depends on what time we get out.